Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody's day going? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Just getting ourselves all set up here, ladies and gents. Give us just a second. Alright, 1 second. Let's get over here. Alright. Let me. Okay. Alright. Is everything good over here? Yes, it is. Good, good. Alright. Let's check out x.com. Let's make sure we live on X. Are we live on X? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Twitch. Let's make sure we're live on Twitch. Okay. Alright. Good, good, good. Alright. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Hope you guys are having a greenable Friday. And of course, I hope you guys are having an even better weekend. And then after that, an even better Monday. Because, hope you guys have that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's see here, ladies and gents. Just getting myself set up. Okay. Alright. Get all the messages sent out on the Discord. The Discord. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Hope everybody's doing well. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Alright. Let me get the video. Alright, get everything set up on Discord. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ourselves all set. Yeah. Alright. There we go. Get all the notifications on Discord. Boom. Alright. Get this over here. Alright. Hello.
Hello.
Say hello to your moms.
Hello, hello.
Yes. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Hello to the
Good
people.
morning.
Yes. Hello to the people. Yes. We're just getting ourselves set up here. So let's get ourselves all fixed up. Boom. Right there. Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright. Send that. Boom. Alright. Get ourselves set up over here. Alright. There we go. Alright, Discord's all ready to go. Let's get our announcements up on the let's get ourselves set up on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Let's make sure. Hold on one sec. Get ourselves all set up there. All right. Okay. Get ourselves set up there. Boom. All right. Facebook. Do. All right. Get ourselves set up on Insta. Make sure everything's looking good. All right. All right. Get the thumbnail showing. Boom. Right there. Good, good. All right. What we're going to do here, we're going to post this. Make sure everything's all set. Come on, baby. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Share it on YouTubes. Let's share it. Share it. Share it. Share it.
Share.
Okay. Let's get this over here. All right. All right. Get the proper link. Okay. All right. There we go. Get ourselves set up on X. Okay. Get ourselves ready there. All right. There we go. All right. Get ourselves ready for everything. There we go. All right, beautiful. Got ourselves set up on there. Make sure everything went through on Facebook, because Facebook does Facebook things. You know how it is with Facebook. Yeesh. All right. Facebook. Come on, Facebook. Come on. Come on. Try to get Facebook to work here. Come on. Come on. Come on, Facebook. Facebook does not want to cooperate. There we go, finally. There we go. Finally. All right. Facebook's just being Facebook right now, ladies and gentlemen. It'd be like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get ourselves all good. Come on. There we go. Finally. All right. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Facebook. Stop being a pain in the neck. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get this intro started.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker. All right, and I'm here to talk to you about the stock market. I'm here with my lovely co-host, the one, the only, the Serengeti specialist, the one who's in the tall weeds, the tall trees, the high seas, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she's got some coffee, and on occasion she's on that jet ski. We call her TBL Moms.
Hey!
Yeesh. All right. So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, if you want, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, the link to join is in the description down below, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks. I tell you, they get that filet mignon money.
Filet mignon money.
All right, they get that lobster money,
Lobster money.
the lobster tail money. They get that bucket of crabs money. All right. They get like those buckets with the crab claws and the crab legs. Oh my God, those.
Little crab said, "How did you?"
Yeah, with a little nice little brewski on the side.
Yes.
A little something, right?
Very nice.
Always nice. That's always nice, man.
King crab.
King crab. Yeah, exactly. That's always good stuff. All right. So you got that going on. Yes, sir. All right. But yeah. So that's what we got going on. So let's check out our first stonk over here. Let's check out ELAB, ELAB. So actually, ladies and gentlemen, but when I said we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times, let me tell you something. We picked a bagger this morning. It went up 143%. We called IBO this morning. Went up a nice 143%.
Yes.
Then we got ALUR, which we actually put out a video on last night. That went up 82%, PNBK 68%, GCTK 57%, and XHLD 21%, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we got going on.
That's what we got going on.
All right. So yeah, that's what we got going on for that stonk right there. And again, if you want to check out our 4-day trial for real-time alerts and scanners for $1.99, link to join us in the description down below, so as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. All right, so let's check out ELAB, ELAB. All right, ELAB. All right, let's zoom in the room. Let's zoom in the room here with this one. All right, so ELAB currently is up a nice 18%. Had some insider buying news this morning, as well as PMGC Holdings Inc., which is the name of the company, announced a share repurchase program from existing shareholders. So it's got that news too.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I'm not liking that news too much. All right. And right now, this stock has a very low float at 574,000. The volume, however, is at a nice 2.64 million. So I like the volume is a lot higher than the float. It's always good. That's never bad. It's not overbought or oversold in the RSI. That's also another good sign right there. All right. Oh, 1 second. There we go. And of course, right now it had a nice move upward over here. Let's check this out. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. Boom. All right. Let's go over here. All right. Had a nice movement upward. After that, it started moving down a bit more. All right. Formed a bit of a descending wedge over here.
Yep.
All right. And then started curling up a bit more. It started curling up a little bit. Now it's it's still below the VWAP though. It is below the VWAP, so that's a little bit of a issue that I got with it. That, and also the fact that it had a share repurchase program. Not liking that too much. So again, this news, right now, it's the news itself is not too good. I mean, it does have the insider buying news, so you got that too. But it also has that share repurchase program, so it could potentially dilute. Yeah, potentially, potentially. All right. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, this is not stock or financial advice. This is just a show. Da 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 da.
Hey.
Always do your own due diligence for purchasing anything in the stock market at all whatsoever. And yeah, that's basically, just want to let you know, little disclaimer. You know what I mean? Little disclaimer. Okay. All right. So we got that going on.
Yes.
Let's check. Let's get the support and resistance lines up here. So we got support and resistance. We got resistance at 958, obviously. All right. Then we're gonna have some more resistance over here at 888 or 886, excuse me. 824. All right. You got some more over here at 764. Then you got some support lines at 743. You got a support line at 718. Got another one all the way down here at 693. And then you got some more over here at 652. And then some more over here at 629. So it'd be like that. All right. Right now, this stonk has to hold the 744 support line and break through that 765 for it to start becoming schmexy. It has to break through that VWAP line at 807 for it to become even more schmexy. But right now it's not liking it too much, not liking it. You know how it is. So we'll see what happens with the stonk. We'll see what happens with it. But right now it's yeah. So we got that going on. One second. There we go. Hold on. All right. And get rid of that. Boop. There we go. All right. So that's what we got going on for that stonk. Let's check out another stonk. Let's check out another one. What other stonks we got? DVR moms.
We have this one.
There's IDN, which actually got some news that says HC Rainrate and Co. reiterates buy on IntelliCheck, maintains $4 price target. So let's check out IDN. I don't know. I don't know about this one. Let's check it out. Let's check out IDN. See what happens with it. Because it has news. But again, yep. This is why I was kind of reluctant. Doesn't have a lot of volume. Could tell just by looking at it. IDN currently has a massive float at 15.94 million. Volume is 2.86 thousand.
Right.
So not very schmexy, ladies and gentlemen. Not very schmexy.
No.
They had some Q4 earnings that came out yesterday. They also had the Q4 earnings call transcript that came out yesterday. All right, and yeah, that was what they had. They said they announced a record fourth quarter and full year 2024 financial results. So that was another thing. But again, this stock has very low volume, so I'm not even going to give it the time of day.
No.
So let's check out another stock. Let's check out ALUR. ALUR. We made a video about ALUR last night, ladies and gentlemen. You can check that out by going to the YouTube channel. And again, ladies and gentlemen, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon so you can stay notified when new videos are uploaded on that YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of baggers, a lot of times, and not to mention the fact that we also put up a lot of videos, little stock market analyses and things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, keep eyes out for that. Yeah. So we got that. All right. Let's see what else we got. ALUR. All right. Currently hit a high of $4.24. $4.24. So you got that going on right there. All right. Then you have it hitting the $4.12 line. You got it again hitting the $3.87 line. 366 is a resistance point for it. 338 is a support line as well. 320, 296, 282. You get some more all the way down here at 247, 222, 225, excuse me, 225. That's what you want to do. And right, that's what we want to do there. Boom. Let's get rid of that line over there. So I'm going to zoom in the room on this stock. Going to zoom in the room. Let's see what this one's got going on for it. Let's see what it's got going on. So right now this stock is currently above the VWAP. It's like a little bit above the VWAP. Not overbought, not oversold. Currently this stock had a bit of a channel. It has a channel, so it's channel time, DVO moms.
Channel time.
Channel time. It's channel time.
Channel time.
Yep. So this one, okay, got a bit of a channel going on over here. There we go. All right, just fell below the VWAP. Not liking that too much.
No.
All right, but it did have a nice run up, 82% earlier. Did have a nice run up. All right, we'll put a video on that. So let's check out the news. Allurion unveils promising results combining Allurion program with low-dose GLP-1 boosts weight loss and muscle mass. So that's pretty good news. That's pretty good news. They came out with something yesterday that they surged on weight loss data from the gastric balloon and the GLP-1 combo treatment. So you got that going on as well. Let's check out the float and volume. The float and volume. So we got a reasonable float of 1.3 million. The volume is 23.15 million. So that's pretty good. That's good. That means the volume is a lot higher than the float.
Yeah.
However, again, it's got a couple of wicks of indecisiveness over here. It looks like it's trying to curl up. Looks like it's trying to move up a little bit. Maybe it could potentially hit that resistance line over here. It's trying to, but it's forming a bit of a top tail in this recent candle. We don't like the top tails, DVO moms. We like the bottom tails. Exactly, DVO moms. We like the bottom tails. All right, so that's what we like going on. That's the way. I like it. So you got that going on right there. Currently, it's trying to go up, and it has to break through that 387 resistance line and hold the 365 support line for it to be remotely schmexy. It looks like it's trying to curl up there and it's hitting 385. Just has to hit that 387 for it to be remotely schmexy to me. Otherwise it's you know what I mean? But right now it's got a bit of a top tail. So we'll see what happens with ALUR. We'll see what happens with it. It's got to break that channel. Has to break that channel. It's trying to break that channel. But again, it's gotta break through there. Gotta break through there a little bit. So we'll see what happens right now. It's trying to move up again. It's trying to move up. 383. So we'll see what goes on. It hit 385. It could potentially hit that 387 mark and break through it. If it it's just got to play its cards right there. That's how it's got to work. It's gotta keep it separated. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna check out IBO. All right. Oh, hold on. Yeah, because I bet what's gonna happen is I'm gonna turn my head away from ALUR, right?
Right.
And it's just going to just move while I'm not looking. All right. So IBO. Let's check it out. People who know IBO. All right.
Oh my goodness.
If you know, you know. All right. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated here. Let's clear out some drawings. Let's clear out this, some old drawings. Boom. Get that out of there. All right. Get ourselves set up. There we go. All right. It's got a massive support line at 51 cents. It's got a resistance line at 514. So you got that going on. All right. Let's see what's going on over here. All right. So we got resistance at 498, more resistance at 480, got a little bit more resistance at 440, 432. All right. It's got some resistance at 411. All right. 394, 372, 348, 310, 286, 233. All right. All right. Then it's got some more all the way down here at 204, 125. All right. And then you got some more all the way over here at 69 nice cents. All right, so you got that going on. What you mean? Yeah. All right, so let's zoom in the room over here. Let's see what we got going on. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a channel forming right over
It's channel time.
Yeah, channel time a little bit. Channel time.
It's channel
Yes, channel time. All right, a little bit of a channel over here. All right, we need to break through this channel. That's what we need to do. It's got to break through that 309 mark. It's got to hold the 309. Has to break through the 348 mark actually for it to be schmexy to me.
Yes.
Right now, earlier this morning, it formed a bit of an ABCD. Boom, going over here, and then over here. Bop, right there. All right, and then you had a descending wedge, a little bit of one over here. All right, boom, beautiful. All right, and then started curling up, curled up a little bit, and then started curling down. And from there, just basically started moving up and down in this little tiny channel. So we're going to see what happens with the Schtank again. Has to hold at that 309 price, that 309 price action, that support line right there. And then it has to break through the 348 for it to be considered remotely schmexy to me. But right now, it's not overbought or oversold on the RSI, but it is below the VWAP, The float for the Schtank is pretty reasonable at 5.15 million. Float, and that's the float. The volume is actually higher than the float at 18.53 million. So again, I like the volume. I do. I like the volume. I like the float. But other than that, that's really all the Schtank's got going for it so far. It's not overbought or oversold in the RSI. That's not a bad thing either.
Nope.
But it is way below the VWAP. Way below the VWAP. So that's another thing. So, Not looking too schmexy to me.
Not yet.
Nah. All right, so you got that going on. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Let's see. All right. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to share, because sharing is caring. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. All right. So be sure to share. Yes,
sir.
Yes. Be sure to share. All right.
Yeah,
Never bad. It's never wrong to share. Sharing is good.
Yeah. Share with anybody.
Share it with your mom. Share it with your dad. Share it with your dog. Share it with your cat. Share it with your brother, your sister. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Share with all that.
All in.
Good. Yes, sir. All right. So, be sure to share. Be sure to share.
With your iguana.
Share with your iguana. Share with your chimpanzee. Some people have chimpanzees. Funny news. Funny story about that, actually. So, I went to a petting zoo recently. Actually, not even recently. It wasn't recent. It was about a couple years back, actually.
Okay.
All right. And I got to hold a baby monkey. Because it was like a little petting zoo, right? They let you hold baby monkeys.
Right.
I had a little diaper on it. It had a little accident while I was holding it.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. So I'm sitting there, oh, look at the baby monkey. And it's like, it's making these weird monkey noises. And all of a sudden, just takes a big old leak on my shirt. I'm like, well, okay then. I was like,
really?
I gave this man a look like, are you kidding me? I'm like, brother, why? Why you do this to me? It'd be like that, man.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. I got to hold a bunch of little things there. I got to see a tiger. Yeah, it's a tiger. All right. Got to pet some lambs. Lambs are good. Lambs are nice. Lambs. All right.
Particularly when they're on a plate, but I'm just saying.
Particularly when they're on a plate is nefarious work. That's nefarious. The lamb shakes. Shanks. Not shakes. No, you don't put it in a shake. No. Lambs don't go in shakes.
No.
I don't think that works. No. If somebody actually does that, I'm very concerned. Please find help. Find God. Yes, sir. Yes. Lamb shanks. Crazy. But yeah, it's they had lamb shanks, all that good stuff.
Right.
They didn't have lamb shanks at the petting zoo. Wait a second.
Shit.
They didn't have lamb shanks at the petting zoo. No. If they had that, would be concerned. Oopsie.
That would be wrong.
But no, they had baby monkeys. They had all that little stuff there, But they had iguanas. They did have iguanas. They had iguanas, All right, and the thing is with the iguana, it was starting to get towards winter time, so they couldn't climb up the trees, the iguanas, because every time it gets to winter, right, the iguanas kind of freeze a little bit,
Yeah.
right, and then what they do is they slide down the trees that they were climbing, and some of them they'll just fall down, fall off a tree. They will. They'll freeze and fall off the tree.
Oh God.
Yeah, and one of my friends was walking,
Pow.
walking. Yeah, no, he was walking. He was walking underneath a tree. He was in Miami, right? He was walking past a palm tree. All of a sudden, the iguana just goes, whee! Scares him and his
Beware of
girlfriend.
falling iguanas.
His girlfriend screamed.
I can't blame her. That's
Eh,
kind
eh,
of ridiculous, no?
he was on the floor laughing so hard because that scared the living hell out of him and his girl. But at the same time, he was like, "Oh my lord!"
Yeah,
Eh,
they do
there was
that,
there was
don't
and
they?
there was like there was this like this gentleman walking past them, right, at the time, and he walked past. He didn't see the iguana fall, so he hears the woman scream. He's like, "What's going on?" He turns around. What's up? What's he just he turns and puts on his best tough face. Like he thinks like impending doom is near. What's up? he's like he's like
Lord.
an
That
iguana
must have been embarrassing.
an iguana fell from that tree. He's like, oh. So y'all have a good one.
Oh man. Yeah.
Everybody had a heart attack that time.
Put the sucker by a toaster. He'll be alright.
No, put him by. No, don't put him anywhere near a toaster. You just gotta let him defrost on his own. At that point, just gotta let him defrost. Brother man, brother man, brother man. What were you doing climbing a tree and had no plan? That's all I'm saying.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Mhm.
So, yes. So you got that
Yes.
going on. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
what else we got?
I
What
don't
else we got going
Let's
on
see,
here?
let's see what else we're in here.
Right.
That one, nice.
PNBK.
Yeah.
Let's check out
Look, I don't know
PNBK.
what doing. Let's see.
But yeah, no, that was the last time I went to a petting zoo.
Yeah, no more of that.
Yeah. There was a couple good stories that came out of that petting zoo though. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to have. I got to hold a turtle, a baby turtle.
Oh
What do they call them? Tortoises?
yeah.
Yeah.
They just call baby turtles.
I mean, are like tortoises? Are those baby turtles or no?
No, tortoises are different.
A different type of turtle.
Yeah. it's a
Oh,
different
okay.
Thing, kind of.
Yeah,
They
'cause
look,
I never really.
similar, but they're different.
Yeah, I never really like asked about that. Quite frankly, I'm just like, it'd be like that. But hold on one second. PNBK currently has a massive support line at 102, has a massive resistance at 204. All right, this stunk. We'll get back to the story time, but right now this stunk is up 32%. Came out with some news yesterday of a Form 8K and some insider buying news. They also are known as Patriot National Bancorp Inc. And they announced over $50 million in private placement, as well as the departure of their CEO. And yeah, that's what they got going on. Their float is pretty reasonable at 3.05 million. Volume is 9.17 million. So the
Nice.
volume is higher than the float. I like that. So let's get some support and resistance lines here.
Right.
So you got some support over here at $1.10. Got some more support over here at $1.32. All right, you got more over here at $1.35, $1.37. Then you got resistance over here at 141.
Yeah.
Got some more resistance at 146, 151. Right, and it's got some more up here at 155. All right, and you got more at 164, 161 as well. All right. And you got some more over here at 117. All right, excuse me, 170. Excuse me, not 117. Got some more at 177. All right, you got some more at 172 over here. You got some more, little bit of barcoding earlier in the morning, or a little bit of barcoding earlier in the morning. 188 over here, 193 over here. Then you got some more all the way up here at 198. Boom, got that going on. As well as 193, and boom, that's what you got. All right, so let's zoom in the room over here. Let's check this out. Let's check out this stock. All right, not liking this price action. Not liking it. A lot of consolidation. A lot of barcoding. Not liking that too much. Not like that too much. Don't like that too much. All right, right now it's gonna have to break through the 141 line for it to be remotely schmexy, which it just did. It did break through that, and now it's got to break through the 146. It is way below the VWAP, so right now it's The volume is currently showing that it's 9.18 million. Float is 3.05 million. So again, I like that the volume is above the float.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna touch this because I'm looking at the candles. Oh, nah, we good. We good on that. We good on that. We good on that. Nah.
Okay.
We good on that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. It's gonna have to do some serious breaking through of resistance points for me to even remotely think about it. Like at best, right? It's got to break through 141, which it just did. All right, now it's got to hold 141. It's got to break through 146. After that, it's got to break the VWAP at 150, and break the resistance point at 151 over here for it to even be considered remotely schmexy. Otherwise, it's just booty. All right, it's booty. We don't like that. Nah. Nah. We can't be having none of that. Can't be having none of that. All right. Let's see here. All right. Currently, the stock is trying to test the 146 mark. It is trying to test it a little bit. So you got that going on. Let's see what we got over here. All right. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. Hold on one second. Alright. Hold on one sec, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, hold on.
One second.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. So, we got that going on.
Right.
Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so we got that going on, ladies and gents. Right now, it's testing the resistance at $1.46, so we'll see what goes on. Right now, it's on a bit of a choppy uptrend, a little bit of a choppy uptrend here. Again, I don't like that earlier price action as well as these wicks of indecisiveness. Not liking that too much, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like this wick of indecisiveness over here. All right, it is breaking through the 146 mark, though. It is breaking through that, so that's always a good sign. It's a good sign. All right, but again, not trusting it too much. Don't trust it too much. You know how it is. Not big on the trust there. All right, not looking too schmexy there. Not gonna lie to you, not looking schmexy. Not looking schmexy. Let's check out another stunk over here. Let's see. All right, let's go back to ELAB. See what ELAB's doing. Well, in the meantime, right now PNBK, by the way, is broke through that 146 resistance point. It's got to break through 149 at the VWAP, and then it's got to break through 151 for it to even be considered remotely schmexy at this point. So we'll see what happens there. All right. In the meantime, let's check out ELAB. ELAB. Boom. All right. Let's see what we got going on. ELAB went up a little bit. Let's zoom in the room a little bit. Bop, right there. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well as share. Give me that share, baby. All right, let's share that stream. All right, share it with your iguana. Share it with the frozen iguanas. All right, yeah. All right, let's get the graffiti pencil. Yes, it would. Oh, it would count. They get to still move their eyes. They're still somewhat conscious. It's just a matter they're frozen, so they're kind of just stuck there, right?
Okay.
There we go. All right, but all right, let's see over here. ELAB did go up a little bit, broke through the resistance at $7.64. However, it needs to It went back down again a little bit. It formed a bit of a descending wedge. Looks like it's trying to curl up just a little bit. So we'll see what happens with that right now. But right now, ELAB is looking, man, It's got to hold that resistance line over there at 742.
Right.
It's got to hold that, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to hold that and break through the 763 mark for it to even be considered remotely schmexy to me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's got that going on. It's got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. So we got that. Yeah, it's got that going on. Right. So let's see. All right. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see here. Again, ELAB also has some news, by the way. They have a very low float, 574,000. Volume is 3.32 million, so that's always good. They got insider buying news as well as a share repurchase program news.
Right.
Again, not a big fan of the whole share repurchase program news. Not a big fan of that, but there is insider buying news. The volume is still higher than the float, so that's not a bad thing, at least. So we'll keep an eye on this stock. But again, let's go back to PNBK, see what they did. PNBK, because PNBK had some interesting little movements here and there. It did. They had some interesting little movements. All right. Hold on 1 second.
Yep.
Hold on 1 second. I'm back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. So we got that going on. We got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we got here. All right. Right now, PNBK is moving upward a little bit more. It's moving upward a little bit more over here. All right. Let's see. All right. Hold on. Let's remove this. Bop. And let's get a new line. It is a bit overbought now. It is a little bit overbought. However, it broke through that VWAP a little bit. It broke through the VWAP. I'm liking that. It's breaking through the VWAP. It's got to break through this pennant right over here. It has to break through this pennant to form, it's got a bit of a top tail going on over here. We don't like the top tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails. ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to share the stream. Share, baby. All right. Can we hit 100? It's got to break through that. It's got to hold that 146. It looks like it's trying to break down below 146. Not liking that too much, PNBK. Not liking that too much. You were doing so well. You broke through the VWAP and everything, and then you proceeded to go Kaputski, right? Yeah, again, but it was overbought on the RSI, so it makes sense. It's forming a bit of a bottom tail over here, but it's a bottom tail red. We don't want the bottom tail reds. We want the bottom tail greens. So again, this stock, All right, let's check out another stock. Let's check out ALUR again. Again, we did ALUR right now. As of now, is the leading gainer in the market.
Yes.
Right now, we made a video on it last night. Let's zoom in the room.
Yes.
All right, had a nice run up 82%.
Yep.
So now it's got a bit of an ABCD pattern formed over here. All right, boom, A to B, B to C, C, C to D. Boom, over there. It broke through the $4.12 mark. All right, and then it went down a little bit, and now it looks like it's trying to break through it yet again. So that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go to the 5 minute. See what we got in the 5 minute. All right, let's zoom in the room. Zoom in the room. Okay, so this stock currently is trying to break through that $4.12 resistance line over there, and it's breaking through it a little bit. It's peeking over it. It's smacking that bottom like its name was Akon. So we're doing that. All right, but it's moving a little bit towards the oversold, not overbought, not yet. It's not there, but I'm just keeping an eye on it. But right now, I'm loving the fact that it is moving upward off of the A, B, C, D. All right. Again, we made a video on ALUR. Link to the YouTube. Check out the YouTube. Be sure to check that out because that's where we made the video on ALUR.
Yes, sir.
We called quite a few baggers yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did. We called them. We called a couple of baggers yesterday. Let's see. Let's see what we called yesterday as well. While we wait for ALUR. Let's check out. Right. Again, we called. Yeah, we called IBO prior to its move up 143. All right, all right, and then as of yesterday we called four baggers. All right, so we called yesterday PSTV.
Mm-hmm.
PSTV went up as high as
PSTV here.
PSTV
PSTV.
went
Yes.
up as high as 263%
Yeah, but IBO
yesterday.
went high, real
Yeah,
high, by the way.
yeah.
It really went.
IBO had a nice run today, but also had a better run yesterday. But
Oh
again, the
my.
day is still young. You never know, right?
Yes.
So we called IBO
Yep.
prior to its
54.
354% run.
Yes.
All right. So that's what we did
Yes.
then. As well as WINT, we called that one prior to its 100% run. And then we called SAG prior to its 114% run. So we
Yep.
called four baggers yesterday.
Yeah.
We called one bagger today, and we're gonna call. The day's still young. The day's still young. It's early, man. It's 8:09. It's 8:09 right now.
Yes.
We still got many hours in the day.
Yes, we do.
We still got many hours in the day, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
sir.
So be sure to check out the 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for $199. Link is in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times.
Yes, we do.
We're just made different. Just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. I'm a little concerned about this little double top that's forming over here. I don't want that
No,
double top.
dear.
Break through that line. You got to break through that line for you to be schmexy. Come on, ALUR.
You know better than
Yeah,
that.
you know better than that. Come on now. Come on, break through the $4.12 resistance. All right, it's got heavy resistance at that $4.12 line. All right, but it's got to break through. All right, it's got to break through. That's what it's got to do. Otherwise, it's going to be a double top, and then it could potentially move down. So you never know, right? But I want to keep an eye on it. I want to keep an eye on it. I'm keeping an eye on it right now. It's got to break through that $4.12 mark. Has to break through that for it to continue to potentially be schmexy, right?
Yes.
But right now, it's kind of consolidating itself a little bit there. All right. Let's check the float on this one. Let's check the float. The float should be, yeah, the float is 29 million. Volume, the float is 1.3 million. Volume is 29.17 million. Very, very nice volume on the stonk. Again, they got some news that they unveiled some promising results combining the ALUR program with low-dose GLP boosts, which boosted weight loss as well as muscle mass on the subjects. I'm pretty sure that they were testing it on. So it's what they got going on right there. Again, this stonk though is kind of forming a bit of a double top. I don't like that. I don't like the double top. I like the double bottom, DBL moms.
Yes.
I like the double bottom.
Tail.
But more than that, I like the bottom tails. Exactly.
Yes, we do like
More than that, I like the bottom tails.
We do like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's what we got going on. Okay. So we got that. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So right now, that's what they got going on. They need to break through that little support line over there for it to be remotely schmexy to me, for it to prove its love to me. All right, let's check out JVA because JVA came in a little bit earlier. JVA, let's check that out. JVA, boom, JVA. Let's zoom in the room. Okay. All right, JVA is very choppy. I could tell right off the bat this one's got some low volume. It has some low volume. I could tell you right off the bat just by looking at this stock. All right, let's check out the float. The float is reasonable at 4.48 million. Volume is 40,000. Nah. They're holding a gap EPS of 20 cents. They reported their first quarter profits, and they had a Form 10Q, which is a form for quarterly reports under Section 13 or 15D, which means they probably got some insider buying as well. So you got that going on. But as far as this one's concerned, it is above the VWAP. It is above the VWAP. It's oversold on the RSI. So you got that going on. But yeah, the float is reasonable, but the volume is booty. Okay, so you got that going on, and the price action is super choppy. I'll put some support and resistance lines on it, but me personally, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, so it's got resistance at the 492 mark, more resistance at the 483 mark, another bit of resistance at the 473 mark, 471 over here, move all the way down, 460, 450, all right. You got some more over here at the 437 mark,
Right.
some more at the 423 mark over here, right? 432 over there, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Right now, it is still above the VWAP, strangely enough, even though it's very low on volume. So,
Yeah.
not liking that. I
No.
don't trust it. Definitely don't trust the stunk. Definitely don't. I definitely do not trust this stunk. I tell you what, I definitely don't trust it. All right. So you got that going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You got that going on.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so that's what we got. That's what we got for the stunk. Let's go into another stunk because this stunk is kind of booty. This is all right. Let's check out. Let's check out LITM. I think this one has a bit of a high float. We'll check it out anyway
Yeah, it's got a
because
little bit of high float
some people were mentioning it earlier. People were mentioning it earlier, so I'll check it out. I'll take a look at it. All right. Let's zoom in. Let's get the graffiti pencil. Actually, let's get the graffiti pencil over here. Bop. All right, and then let's get a resistance line over here at 85 at 0.8567. So 85 cents and change. You got another resistance line over here at 81 cents and change. Got a support line over here at 76 cents and change. Another one over here at 70 cents and change. All right, 62 cents and change. 58 cents and change. That's a support line as well. 55 cents and change. 51 cents and change. 47 cents and change. All right. You got some more at 46 cents and change. All right. And 35 cents and change over here, as well as 33. So you got that going on. Let's zoom in the room over here. Let me see LITM. What do they got? Obviously, they got a bit of a high float, so we know that. So, all right, let's go. Let's see. All right, the float for this stock is 13.67 million. Volume, however, is higher than the float at 35.1 million. So this stock, it has a heavy float, but it does have good volume on it though. So there's that. That's a good thing. As always, that's a little bit. That's a good thing that the volume is higher than the float. All right, let me take out the graffiti pencil really quickly. All right, I'm gonna show you something over here. Show you something. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Got that A, got that B, got that C, got that D, and another one.
The A and the B and the C and the D.
Yes, and then you got another one over here, a smaller one, but it's still there. Boom. Then you got a bit of a descending wedge kind of forming over here, a little bit. Actually, it's more of a pennant. It's a bit more of a pennant actually. So you got a bit of a pennant going on. It's got to break the pennant upward for it to be schmexy. He has to hold that support at 76 cents and break through the resistance at 81 for it to be remotely schmexy. It's forming a top tail, a bottom tail over here, but it's a bottom tail red. Not liking that too much. So we'll see what happens. LITM is also known as Snow Lake Resources Inc. or Snow Lake Resources Limited. Up 31%. It does have some news that they had a uranium project to benefit a critical minerals order. Not to mention the fact that there was also some insider buying in the form of a 6K. Okay. And then you got basically the project was stated to benefit from the Trump administration's executive order increasing domestic mineral production. So you got that going on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens with that. They're doing some mineral stuff. They're doing minerals. Yes, minerals are good. Minerals are great. Yes. Yes. Minerals are lovely. Yes, lovely. Lovely.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens there. But that's all the time we got for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. All right. And as always, it's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I'm here with my lovely Serengeti specialist, the one, the only, the one who's got the bushy tail. She's shaking the bushy tail, and the tall trees, the high seas, the tall, actually no, it's the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees, sometimes on a jet ski with 2 cups of coffee, and sometimes they shoot her out the cannon, she goes we call her DB Moms.
Hey!
All right, and that's pretty much it.
That's it.
We hope you guys have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend.
Have a great
We'll
weekend.
see you guys on Monday. We love you guys. Be sure to, yet again, check out that 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $1.99. Only
Yes, sir.
$1.99, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to check that out. Link is in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, ladies and gents.
Sir.
Be sure to check it out. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on YouTube, where we put up videos, analyses of stonks and other little things like that, as well as live streams at Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money on YouTube. You can find us on X.com, where we do a lot of stock market analysis. A couple bits of news as well. We put up some news. We put up all sorts of other good stuff like that. You can find us on Twitch, where we on X, where we also live stream at Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money. You can find us on Twitch, where we live stream at Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, where we put up some informational content as well. You can find us there at Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money.
At Coach Dick Money. And you can find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki, at DBL Nicks, where we put up, we put up some informational content there too, and sometimes we even stream there. So yeah, we got that going on. So we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and peace.